Heated shenanigans, working stiffer than mannequins. Vader time like a mannequin, mega powers, I'm savage and peep the babbling. Got him shook off the verbal acumen. I'm the main event, meaning nobody coming after him. The topics we be tackling, ankle locking and tapping them. I hate seafood, but I might throw the Boston crab on him. You know sometimes it gets heated. You know sometimes it gets heated.
What's going on, buddy? Sorry we are late. Had a little bit difficulty getting everything up and running for the stream, but hopefully we're good now. What's going on, Craig? It's good to see you. Good to have you back here with us. Just getting everything lined up here. It's like we're kicking things off with Jey Uso. Priest and Jey Uso at Backlash. Let's go, Jey. Let's get everything caught up here. All right. Mike hopefully will be here momentarily. See, we didn't record last Raw, so I'm not sure. Did Jey win a number one contendership match to get Damian Priest? Like, how the hell did we get here? This is the final Raw before the draft, though, so I don't know. Like, I think this will be a good episode of Raw. So the reason for the title is it is heavily speculated that tonight there will be a big reveal in regards to the Wyatt family, Wyndham 6, however they're going to name this. It is worth mentioning that April 22nd was also the first episode of the Firefly Funhouse. Raw tonight is also on April 2nd. So we'll see. I think they're going to have to do something big. They got a lot of competition tonight. The NBA Finals. I know when they do the draft on SmackDown, they're going to have a ton of competition between the NBA draft and, the NFL draft and the NBA Finals. So hopefully everybody out there had a good weekend. Just waiting on Mike to get back in here with us. A stare down between Priest and Jey. Jey has done collectively nothing on Raw since the trade. Like Jey has done nothing on Raw at all. This has been one of the most lukewarm runs of such a prominent babyface. I truly hope they send Jey back to SmackDown so he can feud with the Bloodline. It's just been incredibly. Jey on Raw has not been a good fit. But I could see though the draft busting up Judgment Day. We had talked about in a video that we're going to be releasing tomorrow morning about the upcoming draft, how the story coming up between Damian Priest and Finn Balor doesn't necessarily need JD McDonough or Dominic Mysterio in it for it to be told. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. think this will be a good match at Backlash. I don't see. I don't see they're gonna take the belt off of Priest. Not this soon. I really don't know if we're going to get a whole lot, though, on this episode of Raw, though, with the draft coming up. Probably going to play it safe. Save the real storylines and the meat of what's to come for after the draft. But I do think for sure Damian Priest is going to SmackDown in the draft. I think they're going to swap the world champions. So far, no other members of Judgment Day. Jay's literally standing like he's an 80-year-old man. Called him the leader of the Judgment Day. That ought to be interesting going forward. There it is. This has been the absolute most entertaining Jey Uso's been on Monday Night Raw. And Jay's not winning. Oh, there's Judgment Day. Wasn't JD hit him? Of course, we could see. I mean, maybe Jay does win at Backlash. Oh, yeah, the heel turn of Chad Gable. This was really good. This was really good. It's good storytelling, too, because the way Chad lost in front of his family. Chad made a really good babyface. I think he's going to make an exceptional heel, too. And Gunther's back tonight. We'll see what's going to happen. So we're going right into the title match, DIY versus Awesome Truth. I think this will be a really good match. Last night's Swerve Created History pay-per-view show was great, but where is Chris Sabin in the show? It's a good question. Of course, where Chris Sabin is, I'm also wondering where Alex Shelley's at as well. No, Swerve getting that title last night was big. That was the right decision, though, because Joe was a good champion, but Swerve is, as Bob says, hi, everybody. As like I said, Joe was a good champion, but I think Swerve is going to be a much bigger champion. There's a lot more you could do with Swerve right now than you can Samoa Joe. But I really would like to see going forward what the plan is for Swerve. You got to think MJF is not too far from a return of some magnitude, but he's probably going to get pitted right against Adam Cole when he returns to finish that story, so to speak, between the two. But there is some exciting things going on over in AEW. I wonder if any point tonight on Raw, if we're going to get any more like information about the draft, like how the pick process is going to work, who has the first pick, and what the ruling is going to be on stables and tag teams. There was a report that had come out about stables could not be drafted as a whole, which I do think at least one of the stables is going to get busted up. I think LWO is a prime candidate to get busted up. I don't know. There's just something. I honestly think Judgment Day is going to get broken up to a degree. Not like significantly busted up, but I do think that some of them will stay on Raw and others will go to SmackDown. But I really think with the Netflix deal coming up, with everything going on with that, like Raw needs to be the top show for WWE because of that Netflix deal. I think Cody's going to end up on Raw. I think Punk will be on Raw. Drew, like a lot of the big guns will be on Monday Night Raw. But there are also some other reports going on about how WWE wants NXT to feel more like a prominent third brand instead of it's kind of fallen by the wayside in terms of importance. A few years ago, NXT was like a third main roster version brand. Now they've really taken a step back, and I think there are some notable names that will end up in NXT. You could see Sheamus going to NXT. I would not be surprised with Shinsuke Nakamura going down to NXT. There's really not been a lot going on for Shinsuke on Monday Night Raw, and I don't really think a change over to SmackDown is going to help Shinsuke. He could be a very valuable asset to NXT, and I think Sheamus would be as well. But I mean, the thing is, you can't keep taking from NXT and not give back something. I mean, that's a lot of young talent down there, a lot of young talent that doesn't know the WWE style. They're not ready yet to carry a show on their own. So getting some veterans down there, maybe some of the older veterans, to help guide things and get the younger generation ready for their eventual call-ups on Raw and SmackDown, respectively. But for sure, that Netflix deal, we're going to see a lot of the big names go to Monday Night Raw. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Roman. Brock Lesnar's name has also been brought up in discussion on there could be some plans for Brock Lesnar. I don't know, boy, that would definitely ruffle some feathers if Brock were to get even mentioned. That's crazy to think, like the mention of Brock Lesnar's name on WWE. We're getting ready for this tag team title match between, that's the cat's tail, between DIY and Awesome Truth. And at some point, Mike will be in here with us. He was just wrapping up some other stuff. So they're doing King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. Interesting. I mean, it's kind of nice they made it their own pay-per-view, so they could kind of alternate between matches. I do like that it's a pay-per-view again, but they gave Miz and Mike to come out to the ring now. I am digging the new title belts, though. Those actually look like they belong for adults, not children. I hope these guys have a nice long title run, though. Awesome Truth deserves to have at least a nice, I'd say 4 to 5 month reign would be kind of nice to see out of Awesome Truth. But I do like how DIY has pretty much embraced the DX mentality. Look at that crowd. That was a great shot of the crowd.
Introducing the challenger.
Big match feel intro. Challengers. I do like these title presentations before the match. Like, this makes it feel important. This is how title matches should feel. Those belts look so much nicer than what they had. So much nicer. I don't know. Those SmackDown titles look really nice too. I do like the SmackDown. I think I like the SmackDown titles more. The Raw ones look nice, but those SmackDown titles are really nice. And here we go. There were reports about how Gable's going to get a stable of his own, which it would make sense that it is the Creed brothers that will be working with Chad Gable, kind of like a more modern day version of Team Angle, which will be good. I think that'll be good for the Creed brothers, for Chad Gable. I want to see what heel Chad Gable brings to the table. Off to a great start with that turn he had on Sami Zayn. Like, that was just really well done. A lot of people might have seen it coming just because of how everything transpired at WrestleMania between Gunther and Sami Zayn, but overall, that turn with Gable was really, really well done. I'm just happy we have an actual healthy, flourishing tag team division for once. It's been a long time since we've had that in WWE. Oh, got him. Miz is so underrated. I really hope Mike gets on here so we can talk about how good Miz is. He's going to love that. Oh. It's a pretty good exchange between Miz and Tommaso. Oh, figure four. It's also crazy to think how much Tommaso does look like Triple H. Like a much leaner version of Triple H. God, this is a good match. I think we're getting ready to go to a first or another commercial break here. Yeah, there we go. Commercial time. Dear God, how many incarnations of Chucky have they done? This is the is this a TV show for him? Surely you've told every possible story you could for Chucky. But with Backlash coming up and the draft being this week, what predictions do you guys have about what will happen during the draft? Any big surprise returns that you guys think will happen? Any major call-ups outside of the ones that are kind of expected to happen for the draft? Or who do you guys think is going to have the better draft, Raw, SmackDown, or NXT? I feel like NXT maybe doesn't quite qualify for this. Craig, it's a TV show for Chucky. It's okay. The movies are better. I've seen so many things for Chucky recently. Like, I grew up, there's Chucky 1, 2, and 3. Now I think there's like 9 movies for Chucky and like several like spin-off movies. I love horror movies. I'm a huge horror movie fan. I love them. But I am a little bit of a traditionalist. I do like a lot of the older ones. Scream being my all-time favorite horror movie. It's so weird to think about how these commercials are right now compared to like when we were watching Raw, like the Attitude Era. I do miss those commercials. Now we're getting insurance commercials and Chucky commercials and all that good jazz. But guys, also, Craig, I love horror movies too. Jason is my favorite. Yeah, dude, I love the Jason series. A lot of great movies in that. What one would you say is your favorite Jason movie? For me, I always had a soft spot for Jason Goes to Hell. I had a soft spot for that. I thought the second one was also really good, but I mean the first one's great. I don't really know how I would rank them though. Jason X definitely would be the last one I would put in the importance or liked. I hated that movie. Jason X was horrible. I was not remotely a fan of that. You're saying Jason Goes to New York. Is that the one you like the most, or is that the one you like the least? I also don't know if I've ever seen that one. There's two Jason movies I've never seen. I'm decently sure Jason Goes to New York or Jason Takes Manhattan. That's the one I have not. One of the ones I have not seen. It's one you like the most. I'm gonna have to give that one a watch. I don't think I own that one. I own quite a few of them, but I don't think I have that particular one in my collection. Silver Bullet, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. That was one I really loved. That was a really good movie. Got Miz trying to make that tag, get out of a bad spot, and boom! Here comes Truth. House of Fire, R-Truth. 3 moves of doom. I love the fact he has this now. The fact he is doing Cena's moveset is, I'm here for it. Oh, Jesus! Golly! I'm still trying to get over that super kick. My God, he knocked the... God, that sounded brutal. It is so weird to see WWE, somebody else besides Triple H, using a pedigree. And to see somebody kick out of that. Like, that move was so protected for so long. And now Rollins uses it. Tommaso is using it. They're going to end up turning the pedigree into the next DDT. God, they're just throwing haymakers in this one. Oh. Oh, is this meet in the middle? Oh, God, Truth is getting worked over big time here. He's going to pull him out. Yep. Miz with the save. Oh! Didn't get all of them. Truth need to make a tag. Skull. Nope. Ooh, near fall. God, that was close. Oh, I love that. Truth Crushing Finale. That's a good name. That was good. That was good. DIY, though. I can't catch a break on the main roster. Awesome Truth. That was a great match. That was a great match. We get a mutual show of respect here out of Awesome Truth and DIY. Is Ciampa going to shake hands? Oh! Damn, all right. Please don't break them up. Yeah, for sure Judgment Day is getting split up in this draft.
Clearly it's a problem. But we don't have a choice, do we? So do us a favor
Maybe Dom and Priest go to SmackDown? Balor and McDonough stay on Raw? Whatever's wrong with Dom, I hope he gets back quickly. I've missed Dom in the ring. Here comes Imperium. Do we get the face turn out of Gunther tonight, though? You and no one would miss Dom. It's brutal. Dom's not that bad. I love Dom. Yeah, like I said, I hope we get some. That's a great logo for that draft, though. That is a great logo. I hope we get some clarity on the show on Raw tonight. I hopefully for sure SmackDown, like how this is going to work, but just I really don't like the idea of being able to get like 5 people with one pick like that. That is so ridiculous to think one pick you get 5 wrestlers. But while we were also on commercial break here, I meant to do this on the last one, but got sidetracked. Coming up on Saturday, June 29th, which is not that far away, Heated Shenanigans podcast here will be hosting Every Child Wins, a charity wrestling show for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation and Muscular Dystrophy Association, headlined by the franchise Shane Douglas, the hardcore icon Sandman, the beautiful queen of Extreme Francine, and the one true manager of champions, Mr. Bill Alfonso, along with some of the absolute greatest talent across independent wrestling. I'm talking international star Jake Oman, Dale Patricks, Josh Crane, phenomenal women's wrestling, Missa Kate, Heather Monroe, Lainey Luck, Ari Alexander. Former NXT talent Gina Marie is going to be there as well. We've got a lot to offer, and we want to see you guys there as well. Tickets are on sale now. You can find ticket information on Heated Shenanigans Podcast Facebook page to reserve, pre-purchase your tickets tonight. We also do have our episode up with Francine. Francine joined us for an episode Thursday night. Able to get that up a couple days ago. Definitely check that out. We also have an interview coming up with Chris Van Vliet is going to be joining us here on Heated Shenanigans Podcast as well. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Chris and I are scheduled to sit down and talk on May 2nd. So definitely excited. Chris is he's the measuring stick for interviews and professional wrestling and Hollywood as a whole. We got some new comments coming in here. Where was Balor during the Judgment Day segment? That's a good observation. He missed the beatdown not beatdown, but the scuffle between Jay and Priest. And was not backstage for that interaction as well. Like I said, I could be 100% wrong. I honestly do not think Judgment Day gets through the draft intact. Like somebody's going to get plucked. And I think it's Priest because, again, with the Netflix deal coming up, I don't see how they don't switch the champions. Priest is not going to put as many eyes on Monday Night Raw as Cody Rhodes will. That's just facts. But I guess you also could point out to the fact that SmackDown has not had a babyface champion in like 5 years. So there are fresh matchups to be had, but the draft can also supplement that as well. NXT partnership with UFC Battleground. All right. That's going to be a big deal for NXT. Maybe Bobby Lashley goes to NXT during the draft. He does have a little bit of a history in that. Though you could also fuel more fire to the Brock Lesnar return rumor. Imperium is back together again. Gunther looks a lot different not holding the Intercontinental title. That, hands down for me, for my money, Gunther versus Sammy was the best match at WrestleMania this year. Like Cody might have had for me, it was a close second. Cody's match was a close second, but Gunther Sammy, that was next level stuff for me. Be interested to see what Gunther says. Kaiser, God, that dude's going to be a star when he gets out of Imperium. See what the former champ has to say.
I know what you expect me to say on here and talk about WrestleMania, take some shots at Sami Zayn, but I'm sorry to disappoint you. That's not what I'm going to do. See, I took some time away to digest everything that happened, and I want to say this. For 666 days, I elevated the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship to heights never seen before.
So far, this is a babyface promo. This is intriguing.
I became the greatest champion in its illustrious history. My name, the Ring General Gunther, will forever be embedded in the history of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
Where does he go next?
However, that also means for almost 2 years, I was walking around here with a big target on my back, with the pressure of living up to everybody's and my own high expectations. That weight has now been lifted off my shoulders.
Oh, he's going for one of the heavyweight titles.
Thank you.
I don't want it to be Cody because there's no way in hell Gunther is beating Cody right now. Go after Priest.
I'm going from being the hunted to being the hunter. I can do whatever I want. This is a brand new era. And no matter to which brand I'll be drafted to, I will make sure that my name will be embedded into this new era. So therefore, I officially declare my participation in the King of the Ring tournament.
Oh. I mean, that's probably the odds-on favorite to win it.
And after that, it's up to me to decide which championship to take next. whether it's Sami Zayn and my Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship or any other championship in WWE. But, fair warning, as a champion in WWE, you will be targeted, you will be hunted by a challenger that is not only able of winning titles, but it's also able to hold on longer to them than anybody else. Already, the general of the ring, soon to be the king of the ring.
Let's go. Make it happen, Gunther. He didn't even acknowledge Kaiser or Giovanni as well.
Sound the alarm! Sound the alarm! Guilty! You are correct. It is indeed a new era.
Kofi's going to interject himself into the King of the Ring.
This new era, then would you boys up? New Day! Think of what you're looking at. It's the reigning, defending king of the ring.
Xavier Rhodes won? Woods won King of the Ring?
Usurper to my throne. That makes you a pretender to my throne.
He's going to destroy Woods.
Because I plan on cementing my legacy when I become two-time king of the ring. One more time, one thing. Two-time king of the ring. Say it 3 times for emphasis and guarantee. Two-time king of the ring. Everybody got his clown kick. Everybody understands. But let's be realistic here. After I win the King of the Ring, I'm going to reestablish the image of the King of the Ring tournament. And you'll be remembered as the guy that's a little bit weird and won by accident and counted himself in gold. And
Jesus.
champion. A champion, he said. That's interesting you say champion because you used to be. He ain't got no gold because he lost his championship title. Sit there and say, where your gold at, Gucci? Where your gold at? Where your gold at, Gucci? Where your gold at? Where your gold at, Gucci? Where your gold at? Where your gold at, Gucci? Where your gold at? Enough! This is beneath me. Gio, Kaiser, take care of this. No! We fought them so much already. You know what? Fine. We'll handle this at King of the Ring. So if you two little bump boys want a match right here, right now, tonight in Columbus, Ohio. I said in Columbus, Ohio. Then we will gladly beat your cheeks. BYC, that's what it means. Dude, make it happen, Pierce. I want to see the renewal of this great rivalry. The period of New Day.
Well, that was an interesting segment. Gunther kind of cuts a semi-babyface promo, completely ignores his teammates until Woods and Kofi come out. Craig, Woods won King of the Ring 2021. That honestly surprises me. He very well probably will never go on to win a world championship out of the New Day. I guess the King of the Ring is the next best consolation prize. But I mean, currently I would think Gunther's the odds-on favorite to win King of the Ring. I don't really think McIntyre's going to get put in this. I mean, he might. I mean, it would be funny if McIntyre got put in and CM Punk screwed him out of the win. That would be funny. But I guess we'll see. The King of the Ring's looking to be pretty good already. God, it's going to suck watching some of these pay-per-views at Lord knows what time. I don't even know what time it is in France, like when they're doing the Backlash pay-per-view. Please, God, no more Australian pay-per-views. That was brutal. 4 a.m. for a pay-per-view. Look, I love professional wrestling, but my goodness, 4 a.m. was brutal to get up and do a stream of the Elimination Chamber. Great pay-per-view. A lot happened, but my goodness, 4 a.m. was rough. But I guess we'll. I want to see who they're going to put in the Queen of the. I do think. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would be really good for Tiffany Stratton. This would be a really good tournament to launch Tiffany into the main event picture for the women's titles. Either one, whichever brand Tiffany ends up going on. I think Tiffany will probably stay on SmackDown, but who knows? She might get drafted to Raw. But if I had to guess, Tiffany and Gunther win King, Queen of the Ring.